So on this particular day, I was out in the industrial area in the Fort Smith area, which if you don't know is on the Arkansas and Oklahoma border. And the nearest railroads to it are the Arkansas and Missouri Railroad, which if you don't know has a crazy Alco fleet and one of, or if not, the biggest operator of Alco locomotives. It also interchanges with the Union Pacific, which has a small or relatively mid-sized yard in Van Buren, just west of the Arkansas River. Now you may be thinking, wait, FSR Roma, doesn't the Fort Smith Railroad interchange with UP too? Well, yes, that is correct. But A&M brings the rail cars to the Union Pacific yard since Fort Smith Railroad does not have access or tracks to go to Van Buren. Another railroad that the Fort Smith Railroad interchanges with is CPKC, formerly known as KCS or Canadian Pacific, which runs a Dodger on a local daily to Fort Smith. Now, last but not least, the Fort Smith Railroad, which is owned by Patriot Rail and operates in the Fort Smith area. They actually have a pretty insane fleet of locomotives, which are all originally built for ATSF or they're leased units by LTEX, which you're gonna see in this video. And actually one of the EMD standard cabs still wears iconic ATSF blue on its scheme. Now, two of these railroads are short lines, and then the other two are major players in the railroad business. Now, two of these class 1 railroads own respectfully amount of trackage, like CPKC that owns the little side branch that goes out of the Heavener subdivision and the Heavener subdivision. Now, UP also has two subdivisions about the Fort Smith area. The Wagner subdivision, which actually in Sallisaw, Oklahoma, there's a diamond crossing where you can see both UP and CPKC action. The Wagner subdivision starts in Wagner, Oklahoma and ends in Van Buren. The other subdivision, the Van Buren subdivision, starts in Van Buren, Arkansas and goes all the way to Little Rock, Arkansas. Now, with all this said out, let's check out some Fort Smith Railroad short line action. Now, for this day, we're exiting a ramp on I-540. If you're a Fort Smith local, then you know what this road is. There's this intersection on I-540 off a ramp where the Fort Smith Railroad crosses in front of it. Now, particularly, I saw it on Google Maps. I was hoping I saw it a train this day on that intersection, but I didn't really expect much. But to my shock, I saw this. After that, I started to chase it down to try to see what it was. And to my surprise, it was ex-CSX road slugs, now owned by LTEX. They're lease units, but I don't know if the Fort Smith Railroad owns them temporarily or permanently. I got these two pretty good shots of the LTX duo, and I edited a bit.
I got my mind on